right, we're back. It's the Keetons in the kitchen. I did a stuffed pork roll a few minutes ago, so while I was on a roll, I figured I'd just keep going. One thing that old honey baby and I rarely do is drinks. So I don't drink. Anybody that knows me much knows that I don't drink much anymore, but doesn't mean I've forgotten how. So anyway, I got this old drink thing here that I make up that's pretty much the greatest drink you'll ever drink in your life. It's a Bloody Mary, but it's got a couple of little touches in it. So let's put this together. I'll show you how I do this. Used to do it back in the day and still do it today. We're going to start off with some V8. If all you have is tomato juice, use tomato juice. Don't sit at home. Oh God, this tomato juice, I can't make it. You're going to get a little more flavor out of V8, but if all you got is tomato juice, use it. I'm using this white bowl, so you'll be able to see this a little bit better, and it's probably going to make it impossible to pour out of later. So I'm going to pour in some of this V8. Now, I talked about earlier, cooking's supposed to be fun, so stop measuring everything. Just pour some in there. It's not fun if you're just stressing over every single thing. The next thing we have is a tablespoon. We have some Worcestershire, Worcestershire, whatever, however you say it. A couple of tablespoons of that. We throw it in there. We've got a little horseradish, because this is going to be a little bit of a spicier Bloody Mary mix. So I'll throw in half a tablespoon, give or take. Again, we're not measuring this. We'll taste it later, and if it stinks, we'll change something. I've got the juice off some pickled. You can use pickles. You can use really anything you want. This is off pickled cauliflower. It's the same brand that's on all the others. A couple of tablespoons, maybe 3. I have some pickled jalapenos. Now again, I just put in the horseradish, so I don't want this to be so hot that we can't really drink it, so I'll give that about a tablespoon of that. Then I have some green olives. Now I'm going to show you what makes this the greatest recipe in the history of the world. Ooh, that went everywhere. You put you a couple of tablespoons of the juice in there. But if you have one of these handy dandy little blender thingies, you take you some of your green olives, and if you have some black olives, do that with the same thing. Give them a couple tablespoons of that. It might be a little much. Let's put a few of them back in. Do about a tablespoon of them to start. Got your handy dandy little blender thingy here. Now you want to kind of turn those into a paste because you don't want to be chewing these while they're in your drink. They're pretty small. You throw those in there. Lastly, and I can't believe I'm telling you this, because this is the biggest secret, fish sauce. I'm not going to put a lot of fish sauce in there, but I'm telling you, this is the key, especially if you can figure out which end is which. About a half a teaspoon of fish sauce. That's going to add a little saltiness to this, but it's also going to add a ton of flavor. Last thing you need is a little hot sauce. I like to use sriracha because I think you get a little bit more flavor out of sriracha than you get if you just use regular hot sauce, but tablespoon and a half of sriracha. You stir this all around here, which again in a bowl is not the easiest thing, but neither is mixing it in your glass. So then, the last thing you need, of course, is some alcohol. This is a vodka. Now here's my tip. Buy the cheapest alcohol you can get. There are so many flavors in this. An $8 bottle of vodka doesn't taste a bit different than a $30 bottle of vodka in this. Now, if you're just going to sit there and sip it over the rocks, first of all, you crazy. Second of all, it would matter. It ain't in this. So you pour in a little of that. That's about a couple ounces. Lastly, a little sugar, because you've got so many acidic tones in this drink. I think you need to cut that with a little sugar. You can leave out the sugar if you don't want it in there, but I think it makes a huge difference because again, the acidity level is crazy on this. So you mix it all up. Now, rather than you all watch me try and pour this in a glass, which probably would never happen in a million years, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna check it with a shot glass. I'm gonna give one to Honey Baby, who's behind the camera, and I'm gonna hit one myself. And this is where we would adjust the seasonings if it needed a little bit more of salt, pepper, any of that, maybe a little bit more of the fish sauce, but
Here.
that should be just about right. Cheers, Honey Baby. Let's give this a run. Oh man, that's good. Dude, that's outstanding. I'm gonna have another. He's still got it. After all those years, I better have one more little sip of that. The world's best Bloody Mary right there. That's nice.